Card's strong. I mean, a tutorable tap things is pretty strong in Pauper, especially when people are trying to throw crushers at you. Just like, oh, tap, tap. Oh, you killed my trapper? Alright, tutor up Bound in Silence. Doesn't work anymore. You're gonna need to find another crusher. Cool, right? No, this deck is sweet. I really like it. It's definitely tackling Pauper from another angle than we've tried. I'm glad we're looking into it because the Lumberjack deck was just having a lot of issues. I hate to say it, I love that card and I love that deck, but this one also interests me. Yeah, Will of the Nim is really cool. Regeneration or killing. But before we add those, let's go back to the other picture. So what did we learn about this one? Holy Light. Holy Light's not too hard to splash. So this is kill non-white creatures. Now here's the thing. This won't kill Trapper, but it would kill our Blight Speakers. So we need to be careful about Holy Light in this variant. Whereas Wail of the Nim kills everything. This could be somewhat one-sided. Yes, it'll kill my Blight Speakers, but it wouldn't kill the Trapper, the Holy Light. Too bad it can't be like 4 or 5 drops. I know, right? The deck's interesting. You actually stay pretty small. Unless you want to run... I think the only exception, Harpoon, would be what we're trying in the other deck, which is Crushers. Which I think is greedy, but maybe not. I think we should still test some number of Crusher. Maybe like a 1-1 split to see how we like them. We're still a Tron deck. You still have the Tron mana. It's just that's not your focus. And granted, a lot of other Tron decks, they'll lose against aggro, no offense, because they're just kind of sitting back and hoping that their answers, they don't really have necessarily a proactive plan other than I have to assemble my Tron, kill some of their dudes, then start slamming Crushers. That's fine. We kind of have a nicer early game plan. They have the better late game. I'm not saying that. It's just we've kind of flipped the dynamic. Tron normally is early game. I'm on my back foot. I'm trying to answer what my opponent's doing, and then I likely have the better late game. Flip that on its head, and that's not true for every matchup. Sometimes when you're trying to go up against control, control's actually really solid in Pauper. Flip that all around. We're on the other side of that spectrum. We can easily be the aggressor if we want to be. Now, if you want to be more aggressive, though, you're going to need to run some equipments. Like swords. Or not sword, you run axe. Holy Light's definitely better. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought, unfortunately. Although Wall of the Nim is interesting. Wail of the Nim is interesting. I mean, black, and Twine, this could certainly be powerful. Fox says, I think Wail would be better, though, than Holy Light if we're going to be in black. Well, I don't think we can have a black, and a white spell. I think we'd have to choose... Wouldn't we have to choose? And for consistency's sake, the deck just overall looks more white. For Wail to get the full value, don't you have to entwine it so we don't lose all our 1 toughness dudes? This is regenerate. You have to go black on this spell, and we're not going to have black. White and black are going to be really hard. I don't think we should do either, by the way. If you ask me, I don't think we should run either, but Dust and Wail are both so powerful it's tempting. These are both essentially black and or white. I know they're very ridiculously powerful. This is potentially a one-side sweeper and Pauper, and this is potentially a 2-for-1. But that being said, they both really stretch the mana beyond what I think we can pull off. Wail just kills half my board. No, I'm not even... I'm saying... I agree that there's situations where Wail is stronger. I'm just saying that... Just for color's sake, I think both of these cards are greedy, and we might want to look into alternatives. 2-for-1s are sweet. Killing their dudes and our dudes not dying is sweet. We'll see if we can stretch into these cards, but I think it's wrong. I hate to say it. I think it's true. I think the only thing we want out of black in the sideboard is just some duress. Yeah. Or Shrivel. Do you want something faster than Holy Light that also affects other opponents' white decks? I mean, granted, Holy Light, if they're white aggro, we're sad, because Sunlance and Light don't work. Although we just beat a white aggro deck, and we were still running 2 Holy Light and 2 Sunlance. Needless to say, we went through, I think, the game 1, I think we went through all 4 Rift Watchers before we had control over the game with Trappers and things like Silence. We did get control over the game, though, eventually. Kron says we rest in peace. What happened? What happened? Shrivel will have the same problem. Echoing Decay. I don't hate Echoing Decay. What's the white Echoing card? I don't remember off the top of my head. Isn't it like a protection? Hang on. I'll think of it. Or was it what? Or was it? Was. Wow. Bleh. Yeah, Decay is sweet. Maybe a 2 of. We can grab another one. Yeah, Decay seems sweet. A lot of the creature decks are just so redundant anyway. Decay could be sweet. The white one hits enchantments, does it? Isn't there one though we could use that like hits only our opponent's enchantments? Oops, am I grabbing truth? Quantity. Like something like Bogle. Well, no, we're not scared of Bogles. Remember how the interaction between Bound and Echoing Calm, yeah. Enchantments with the same name. This one doesn't see as nearly as much play as Decay, Truth, and of course, Ruin. Decay's so strong against tokens, though. It's a nice option for black. There are token decks. We could even get into tokens a little bit. There's some token cards we could run. You know what's interesting is Convoke can certainly work in this. Oh, you know what? I wanted to test the Convoke spell, didn't I? I wanted to test the Convoke Exile so we can exile twice. Yeah. Or like the Life Gain Phalanx. There's some cards I wanted to explore. The Life Gain Phalanx is cool, but we have a lot of other ways to kind of incrementally gain life. I don't know if we need to go that far as this guy. What is the spell I'm thinking of? Not Triplicate Spirits. And it's not Phalanx. It's a different Convoke spell. It's no. It's not Convoke. It's tap 3. What is it called? It's from Time Spiral. It's got flashback. I remember that much. We can't tutor for non-permanent. It has to be a permanent. Yeah. Otherwise, you could do all sorts of sweet things. You know what's sad is Chainer's Edict doesn't work really well with us, right? We'd have to run the other flashback spell I'm thinking of. Chainer's Edict would be bad because we're bound and silencing their creatures, and then they'll just be like, okay, sacrifice the one that's been bound. Battle Screech? No, but that's an option for us. No, I'm thinking of Gaze of Justice. And before you say anything, it is a pet card of mine. Before you say anything, we can't run the normal flashback spell for a big game, Pauper, Tron in black. Rising Morningstar's got it. Yeah, Gaze of Justice. Is this too much work, though? Even with us going wide with creatures, even... like, I feel like the fourth Bound in Silence is still better than the first Gaze of Justice. I mean, Battle Screech might just be more where we're supposed to go. Actually, if you run Battle Screech with Gaze, they might work well together. What if we ran a split of Gaze and Screeches? Or more Screeches than we run any Gaze. I like Battle Screech a lot. There's a lot of value. Yeah. Battle Screech is essentially the Magus Harpoon doesn't like it. I mean, I'm down for running Screech first. I mean, this is another nice engine for just, hey, I'm going to block you. Granted, I don't know if we have room for that many copies. Run Squadron Hawks? You could. Again, I don't know if we need that either. Army in a can. That's the thing. Like we already have this engine. I don't know if we wanna, like again, the deck's already working. All we're trying to do is fuse the best components of each strategy. I don't know if we need to like completely change what it's already been doing and doing well. That's something else to think about. Like, with the Black Splash, we get the Tappers, we get the Duresses. Great, that's all we really wanted. Maybe something like Echoing Decay. Maybe that other spell we were talking about, which I still saved over here, like Whale. Oh, I do have 2 Decays. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, that's a stretch, though. I mean, I think you lose the white spells, and so our Affinity Hate becomes much, much, much worse. Fox says, I don't even think we need Screech. Right. I think the deck is linear and has a nice plan as it is. It seems strange, but if you guys watched the last 2 matches we played out, it was just very much, I play a guy, pass, tutor, 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 tutor twice, tutor twice, have Tron land, tutor 3 times, tutor 4 times, tutor. It's just like, and like before you know it, you just have this like this army. It's just, what are you gonna do? And that's why I don't even know if you need the Crusher. I just feel like the incremental pressure is just what's so cool when we use it against the control player, and the incremental like blockers was just so good against the creature deck we were up against. It's more flexible than just like, hey, I have a Crusher, and then they just counterspell it. I'm not even necessarily interested in the Crusher. I'm actually sure the white spell is okay. Black is the splash. So you think Dust is okay, but Whale is too much? Okay. Okay. It's very powerful. It's one of the best things we can have against something like Affinity. So next we need to determine, is the Acolyte necessary? Do we want a glider of both color? Run Castigate. It also hits creatures. You want me to run a split of Castigates and Duresses? I feel like we answer creatures so well. I feel like it's the other stuff that we don't. Whale is too much and it's just bad. Nightwind. Yeah, I feel like Acolyte is sweet, but maybe not necessary. But she's very powerful. And there is a black Acolyte as well, but neither of which are going to be tutorable. We might just want to stick with the gliders. Flying pro of whatever our opponent might be on. We bring them in the specific matchups that they're for. Eldrazi Devastator to go against Mono White for the trample, since you don't care much about the exile or any deck that can block near infinite. Couldn't we give our deck trample though some way else, Melfina? Like one of the protection creatures? I mean, you could still run a split of Duress and Castigate. I'm just saying it's going to be hard with Prism to do Castigate, but Signet would. I think the Castigate's unnecessary. We answer creatures so well. I feel like it's the non-creature stuff that we have trouble. You could play a dude over Castigate? Castigate? Yeah. Okay, well, what do we like so far? By the way, I've got to add several lands. So somebody said we're supposed to run the filter land, right? Okay. Yeah, what would the mana base look like? Again, like all these Trons that we're looking at as an example, their mana base is more akin to using the stars and the spheres. Shimmering Grotto. So something like Shimmering. There is a Pauper League, Chimpaka. Yeah, there is Pauper League, so we can certainly get full prizes for playing Pauper, which and maybe is why I'm spending so much time on it tonight. Otherwise, I think we'd just be jamming Modern and Legacy like usual. Okay, so let's make the mana base work. So he was running a 2 of Shimmering Grotto. Could we just go heavier on Grotto? I don't have any, but I'm sure they're not too bad. How many would you run? 2? 3? Maybe 4? Just something that filters. There's another equivalent to Shimmering Grotto. Oh, there've been at least another functional reprint of this. If you wanted 5, you could certainly get 5 of that effect if you wanted. Are there any good Wraths in Pauper? Not really. Duels are probably better than Grotto. Oh, you know what is a sweeper that we could run eventually? Harpoon. Although I wouldn't really recommend it for us because we're also committing a lot of creatures to the board. But we could run, maybe not Pestilence, but we could run, unless you wanted to combo it with the Guild guy. Since we're in white-black, you could combo Pestilence with the guy who has protection from mono colored stuff. He's not tutorable, though, that I'm aware of. Or you could run Rats. was it Crypt Rats or whatever? Super expensive for some reason. Well, it's one of the only